Hey man, say man, it's your boy DAA man, Daylight TV, back at y'all with another one. And on this trip, I got some news you could use or not. You know what I'm saying? But first, hit that like and subscribe button, smash that notification bell, help grow the channel, Daylight TV. Let's get into it, man. So our first story or whatever on the list is kind of an update on the third episode of my Mafia Material series that I did on Dawood Bay, South Philly zone. Um, and it ties in because Philly drug lord KABONI SAVAGE has had his death sentence commuted to life in prison without the possibility of parole by former President Joe Biden, right? Now, for those of y'all who've been following the channel and seen the documentary on Dawood, you know the name KABONI SAVAGE for running North Philly with an iron fist, along with Dawood, who had South Philly on lock, and they pretty much together, put the city in a chokehold, so to speak. Now, Savage was convicted on drug charges as well as the murder of 12 people, 6 of whom were killed in a firebombing that he ordered from prison and was carried out by a dude named Lamont Lewis, right? The victim family, the family was the family of a witness on the case named Eugene Coleman, just to give some context into that. So, Savage was found guilty and sentenced to death on June 3rd, 2013. All right. So now, little over 10 years later, he gets his death penalty case commuted and, get to live out the rest of his life in prison. I got a news clip I'm going to play for y'all or whatever concerning this, get some context into it. And I'm going to double back on y'all with my final thoughts. Pull this up. Okay, so
President Biden committed the sentences of 37 to 40 federal death row inmates to life in prison without the chance of parole.
And that includes Philadelphia's KABONI SAVAGE, who was on death row for 12 murders, including ordering a firebombing that killed 2 adults and 4 children. Correspondent Erica Brown has more on today's presidential announcement.
President Joe Biden is giving a reprieve to most federal death row inmates, commuting their sentences to life in prison without the chance of parole. The president said he condemns these murderers and grieves for the victims of their despicable acts. But he added he's more convinced than ever that we must stop the use of the death penalty at the federal level. The president has long opposed the death penalty and paused federal executions in 2021.
The president felt it was so important that it was a part of his discussion with the attorney general when he interviewed him and talked to him about the job.
The president also cited the next administration as a reason for moving forward with the commutations. President-elect Donald Trump has been an ardent supporter of the death penalty. The Trump administration carried out 13 federal executions during the last 6 months of his first term, which were the first in nearly 2 decades. And this is what he said in 2018 following the mass shooting at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh.
When people do this, they should get the death penalty, and they shouldn't have to wait years and years.
3 federal inmates are still on track to be put to death. They include Robert Bowers, who was convicted for the Pittsburgh synagogue shooting, Dylan Roof, who killed 9 at the Mother Emanuel Baptist Church in Charleston, South Carolina, and Dzhokhar Tsarnaev, convicted in 2015 for carrying out the Boston Marathon bombing that killed 3 and for shooting and killing an MIT police officer days later. Erica Brown, CBS News, the White House.
All right. So pretty much what I told y'all. You know what I'm saying? Now, here's my position on it, bro. I don't know if I would be happy about having the death penalty taken off and knowing that I have to spend the rest of my life rotting in a cage. You feel me? It's almost like when Mike Tyson said, I don't want to die in the bed, I want to die in the ring. It's the mentality, like, for me, I've been in the streets, like, since my teens, you know what I'm saying? And damn near like my whole adult life. All right. Now, I feel like shit, if I was in it that deep, you know, and I had all the bodies on me, like all the blood in the streets and shit like that. It's like I'm at a point of no return, gang. You understand what I'm saying? Like, and I'm just committed to this shit a little different. And one thing I never wanted to be like was a hypocrite, you know. So to just be standing on business and showing no mercy or whatever, I just feel like it's kind of bogus if I sit here, you know, pleading or looking for mercy or whatever when I show none. You get what I'm saying? It's almost like, I don't know if y'all seen the new Gladiator movie, but you know, they granted him mercy, and like he said he'd rather die than take mercy or whatever from a Roman or at a Roman sword, whatever the case may be. So I'm just saying, bro, maybe I'm just twisted. Maybe I'm too indoctrinated, you know what I'm saying, like with the streets and whatever. But y'all let me know if, you know, if y'all think I'm tripping or not. You understand what I'm saying? Like, would y'all want to just spend forever in a day locked up knowing you're never gonna go home? Or would you rather just like, hey man, life for life? You understand what I mean? I think it's funny or whatever and shit, like how Joe Biden is so anti like crime bill and all that shit. And I guess people could change, like, you know, we seen the whole thing with Frederick Block, you know, taking back the 5 life sentences he gave King Tut and all of that shit. But man, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I'm not for anybody going to jail. Like, you know, y'all know my position and shit like that. However, I do believe that if you essay somebody, if you essay a child or do something to a kid or like motherfucking you know, like some terrorism shit, like you just blowing up shit or shooting up some shit or whatever because you don't like a group of people, yeah, they should fire your ass. And I agree, they shouldn't make them wait 5, 10 years, because who paying for that state? Who paying for them 3 hots in a cot for 5 years or whatever and shit? Wow. You know what I'm saying? So as much as, you know, I'm a G to the core, bro, like I come from the life and everything like that, like I'm just about fairness. You understand what I'm saying? For gangsters, civilians, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like, so that's just my take on that, bro. You know what I mean? I guess he gonna sit in there though, like, you know what I mean? The law change every day. I just personally don't see them letting bro out, you know what I'm saying, with 4 minors, you know what I mean, and 8 adults, you know what I mean, in total. Like out of the 12, 4 of those like people that he took out with minors. And they didn't have nothing to do with nothing other than the fact that they just shared the same bloodline with somebody who was telling them. But that's the game though too. See, the flip side of that is I be feeling like, yeah, Savage did that, but really, Eugene Coleman killed his family. Eugene Coleman got involved in the dope game. Eugene Coleman got caught. Eugene Coleman told, knowing what kind of dudes he was in the mix with. You know what I'm saying? So as much as, yeah, Savage made the call, Lamont did the deed and all that shit or whatever, but it's like, bro, you put your family in that, you know what I mean, from day one. So, you know, it's just fucked up, but collateral damage, you know what I'm saying, it comes with war. Not just street shit, just war in general. You know what I mean? So, I don't know, bro. That's my position on it. Our next story that we're gonna get into is concerning, pull this up. Hey, so our next case or whatever and shit, bro, we down in Louisiana with it, where 25-year-old Bogalusa mayor TYRIN Truong was arrested on charges alleging that he was involved in drug trafficking and solicitation of prostitution in connection with an organization that promoted their illicit business and made transactions via social media. Truong is the youngest mayor in Louisiana state history, He quickly posted $150,000 bail, and issued a statement maintaining his innocence, so on and so forth. Now, for some of you outside of Louisiana who probably know about Bogalusa, whatever the fuck, it's probably due to the popular rapper from the area named JAYDAYOUNGAN, who lost his life to gun violence in 2022, little over 6 months before Truong would be sworn in as the youngest mayor of both Bogalusa and Louisiana's history, right? Just at the age of 23 when he got elected. You know what I'm saying? It said. Now, what's interesting is that they're saying that he was in Atlanta. So I don't know if he got booked in Louisiana or in Atlanta, because they're saying in Atlanta he like scheduled to be entertained by like some prostitutes. I guess like he's in town, little event, you know, ordered him a little box. You know what I'm saying? They got a news article here we could get into right quick. I'm gonna bring this up. Give me a second, y'all. Give me a second. Yeah.
This is breaking news.
Good afternoon. I'm Liz Reyes. Thanks for joining us. Breaking at this hour, the mayor of Bogalusa, the youngest in the city's history, gets arrested and now faces some serious charges. At noon, the Washington Parish Sheriff's Office releasing the mugshot of TYRIN Trουόng. Fox 8 Rob Masson, he is live right now. The charges the mayor now faces. Rob.
Yeah, Liz, we're coming to you live from the Bogalusa City Hall, where state police just arrived about 15 minutes ago. About a half dozen troopers went into the City Hall annex, and they are executing search warrants around Bogalusa in this wide-ranging scheme. The street here in front of the Bogalusa City Hall is blocked off by Bogalusa police. There are a lot of residents gathered around here, somewhat in shock at these developments, because they believe Mayor Truong is a very popular mayor and someone who they believe has been facing a lot of opposition here in Bogalusa since he was elected as the state's youngest mayor about 2 years ago. But now he is sitting in a Franklinton jail, charged in a scheme involving as many as 11 others. About a half dozen members of the Louisiana State Police came to City Hall just a short while ago, now executing those search warrants. The state police says the Violent Crime Task Force had been looking into allegations for the past year. They allege that TYRIN Trουόng and as many as 10 others are involved in a scheme to use social media to distribute controlled dangerous substances like opioids, high-grade marijuana, and ecstasy. The allegations also include charges related to the use of public funds to procure a hotel room involving a prostitute. The Attorney General's office says they are determined to crack down on public corruption, but some Bogalusa residents are skeptical.
Lee TYRIN has the capability of dealing with prostitution. He has a beautiful girlfriend, has a child. He's from a great family. He's always been an upright young man. He has his head on his shoulders. That's not something that he would put in his past to taint his record for his future.
I think it's a tragedy. You know, people had a lot of hopes in him as a young up-and-comer who might be able to provide leadership. And certainly that area needs it. And I think it's just, you know, it's disappointing. It's beyond disappointing when a public official lets you down that way.
And that was Attorney General Liz Murrill speaking in New Orleans just a short while ago. Her office actively involved in this investigation. Washington Parish DA Colin Sims says many search warrants are still being executed. In fact, that is what's going on here at Bogalusa City Hall. 3 others have been arrested, but as many as 10 others might also be arrested as the day goes on. I spoke to Mayor Truong's mother just a short while ago. She believes the charges against her son are bogus. She says family members are now at the Franklinton Parish Jail. trying to figure out a way to help him make bond. We don't know what the bond has been set at this point, but they are trying to figure that one out. We understand that the mayor is being represented by the city attorney. We have reached out to him for comment, but have not heard back. That's a story from Bogalusa where Mayor TYRIN Trουόng is now under arrest. I'm Rahman Hassan, Fox 8 Local First. Liz, back to you.
Yeah, man. And boom. That boy Truong, man. They tried to catch Truong in the barn. I'm guessing. You know what I mean? Now, that's your boy right there. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, bro. So look, what's interesting, I was doing a little research or whatever when I was looking up this story as to who the Tron dude is or whatever. For those of y'all who don't know, like Bogalusa it's a little like it's a little spot, bro. It's in Washington Parish. It's like past BR. Like I got homie, you know what I mean, from Opelousas, Louisiana and shit like that. But like it's all down there, Tangipahoe, St. Tammany and all this shit. And I know everybody like, oh, you from New York. How the fuck you know all this shit about Louisiana? Especially like rural Louisiana. Hey man, mobbing on earth for real, you heard? But yeah, so doing a little homework on bro, and what's interesting about it is Truong has a half brother named Caleb Moss who shared the same father as he does, right? Now, Caleb Moss was arrested in connection with a shooting at Bogalusa High School that left a 15-year-old dead and a 13-year-old injured. Now, Bogalusa, Louisiana only has like a little over 10,000 people, which is 2,000 less than what the city had in 2010. From what I've seen on the census. Now, I bring that up because Bogalusa, as well as Washington Parish, which only has one other city, which is Franklinton, which you heard them say on there. So, like, that's where the jail is at, right? So, yeah. So, like, check this out. So, Bogalusa is in Washington Parish or whatever, it's pretty small, right? Like it got 10,000 people. I think the whole parish in itself had like 44, like, you know what I mean, 45,000 people. You know what I mean? So just imagine in a whole county, you know what I mean, think like 10,000 people, bro. Like we have projects in New York, housing projects in New York that got more than 10,000 people in it. You get what I'm saying? Like it might be 10,000 people crammed into 3 blocks in New York, for real. You know what I mean? So it's like pretty damn small and shit, right? Now, they say that JAYDAYOUNGAN died due to violence surrounding drug activity and fraud, you know, and was deemed retaliatory. And there was a whole nother shooting that occurred at Bogalusa High School tied to that situation. Except it happened at a football game. Now, what's also interesting, and I bring all of this up, is because the mayor that we're talking about, TYRIN Trουόng, is in the same age group as all of these little dudes who, you know, out here crashing out. So it makes you wonder in a town that small, like how deep did this cut? Because JAYDAYOUNGAN is supposed to be from a crew called 23 that's associated with another group called like 1400 or something. Now that's 2 crews, right? Remember, 10,000 people in the whole joint. And so now in a town of, you know, like that size and shit, how many gangs can you have? So I don't know, I could be wrong, but you're gonna have a hard time trying to convince me that in an area that small, and when you're talking about drug, you know, territory and all this other shit or whatever, bro, like you're gonna have a hard time convincing me it's not no connection between all of this. But in the JAYDAYOUNGAN situation, there's a there's a lot of names, and then they're saying that with this situation, it's up to 10 people. So as the names of these 10 people come out or whatever, it'll be interesting to cross-reference and see if they tie into any of these other violent incidents that happened around the time that JAYDAYOUNGAN got killed. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm just saying, bro, all my Louisiana people jump in the comments, let me know, you know what I'm saying, if I'm on to something or if I'm tweaking. You feel me? But yeah, man, that's pretty much, the news or whatever that you can use for the day. You ain't gonna go too crazy. There's a lot going on or whatever and shit. Definitely got some more content on the way. I thought I would give y'all a little update on the channel and shit before I go. So, as a lot of y'all might know, I got the Mafia Material series. I've been working on episode 5. Recently, I got a whole new setup, you know what I'm saying, a whole new studio setup. Some of y'all seen it, the picture in the community joint. So, really been creating a whole new workflow, and at the same time, it's been a little learning curve because I'm like really picking up on these new programs, because all this work that I've been doing on YouTube for at least for like the last year, what a lot of people may not know is I've been doing a lot of that content on my phone, gang. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just now deciding to make the investment and, start, buying the shit, bro. And like, bringing y'all higher quality content. Hit a couple of snags. Y'all know how this, for those who are in that tech game, y'all know how this shit go, bro. You buy something, you buy another something to go with it, then you find out you need another connecting piece, and there's all this shit. Had a couple recording mishaps, like due to technical things or whatever. I literally had to record the whole script again, so on and so forth. So that's kind of been a delay on the Mafia Material joint, but definitely coming, you understand what I'm saying? And y'all definitely gonna appreciate it and enjoy it. And yeah, bro, just keeping it pushing, again, just getting accustomed and creating a new workflow. You know what I mean? And then once we get over that hump, we back at it. Definitely a lot going on. We're gonna cover a lot more. So bear with me, stay down until we come up. I say we. You know what I mean? If you made it to this part of the video, as always, I appreciate y'all mobbing with the content. Stay dangerous so you can be safe. It's your boy Daylight, Daylight TV. I'm out.